What is up, our friends of film fandom, wherever you may be, and however you may be watching and or listening? We appreciate you being here and giving us just a little bit of your time. We're back. We're back here to annoy you once again, as we always do, twice a week. Your favorite people, your favorite place, your favorite time. Talking about our favorite things, which are, of course, movies, for the most part on this channel. And we're talking aliens. We're talking Spielberg and aliens. Match made in heaven or space, whichever it may be. Of course, like I say, we are the harsh truth. I am, as always, obviously not Frank. I think work got the better of him, so or he's been abducted. I don't know. Maybe one of the two. He's been abducted in some fashion. So he's not with us. But here with us, of course, is my wife, Ten Septum. And how are you this evening?
I'm doing good. My contacts betrayed me this morning, so you get me in glasses on the show for the first time. Aren't they lovely? I'm doing good. I'm excited to get into this movie.
That was perfect timing that the music ended. Holy crap. I just been kind of letting it play, honestly. I kind of just turn it down, let it kind of fade out, but just let it play, and then that's the whole intro. So it's all about timing. So I'm getting it to work. We're slowly becoming something that resembles like a competent YouTube channel. Oh, look at that. And because I definitely did not forget until about 30 seconds ago to remind my mother that we're doing a show tonight. But as long as you're here, that's what matters. So again, my mother's in the chat, so behave yourselves. Oh, look at who he is lurking. He is somewhere out there in the ethos. Frank is here. In some capacity, so that's good. We got some class in this joint because Lord knows we need it. Anyway, so new movie Tuesday. That was my foot. Don't get old, kids. It sucks. And turn your foot the wrong way, and then you're hurting for the next 2 days. It sucks. Anyway, we're talking about a new movie this time. Let me get the thumbnail back up here, like I know what I'm doing. We're going to do Disclosure Day. Disclosure Day is a 2026 American science fiction thriller film directed and produced by a guy you might know by the name of Steven Spielberg. From a screenplay by David Koepp, based on a story by Spielberg, the film stars an ensemble cast, and I hope you're all sitting for this Murder's Row cast. Stars Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Colin Firth, Hewson, and Colman Domingo. In April 2024, it was reported that Spielberg's next project would, in fact, be a UFO film, with Koepp writing the screenplay. Within the next few months, Universal Pictures was announced as the distributor, and Blunt was cast in the lead role. Disclosure Day premiered at Le Grand Rex in Paris on June the 2nd, 2026, and was theatrically released in the United States on June 12th. The film has received positive reviews from critics and has grossed $98.2 million. That's a big number. Worldwide, against a budget of only $115 million. Which actually, that's technically a loss, but hey, it's Spielberg, so it'll make its money. And I would say $98 million is not peanuts. Instead of peanuts, talking about Rotten Tomatoes, it has a score of 81% with 343 critics' reviews being positive. An average rating of 7.2 out of 10. The website's consensus reads, quote, a humanistic variation on one of Spielberg's most revisited themes. Disclosure Day's breathless pursuit of optimism in an age of conspiracy gets its biggest boost from career highlight work by Emily Blunt. Those are all positive words. Everything positing and upward, whatever I just tried to say. Upward trajectory. I can't talk today. I'm so damn tired. I'm sorry. Trying to keep my energy up. I just radiate that radiance. You know what it is. You know how I am. So Disclosure Day. So like I said, aliens to Spielberg. Other than Spielberg in World War II, I think this is something he does pretty well. What are your quick thoughts on Disclosure Day before we get beamed up, or whatever the kids used to say?
I really enjoyed this movie. I'm excited to get into it. I think that I'm a big fan of alien movies, I've noticed. I don't know where that came from. Uh, kind of out of left field, but I enjoyed this movie. It was a lot of fun. It was very interesting. Had lots of twists and turns. And I don't know. I'm just excited to get into it.
I would have said maybe like Star Wars has something to do with it. I don't know. Maybe Spielberg had a hand in Star Wars a little bit, kind of. So E.T. exists in Star Wars, so there's your connection right there. Yeah, a little lengthy, but honestly, when you've got about, I don't know, 2-3 different like stories that are intersecting with one another that all come to a head in one point where you get your climax of the actual disclosure day, at least the lead up to that. I would say it at least took its time to flesh out your characters, what they're doing, what they're going through, and how it all does eventually come together. It was kind of cool. It's like we've said, I think Frank has even said about Close Encounters, where it's like this is like a pretty realistic look at like what would happen if we happen to be like contacted by aliens. And I think for its time, that's why it's and obviously now that we've been almost damn near 50 years removed from that movie, which is kind of crazy to think about. Frank's old is what I basically just said, but I kid. But I think this one, being that it's in current day, I mean, like that was for its time, I think this one kind of does give you a pretty good some thought too about like what would happen if you find out that aliens are in fact real, and it just got, especially now at the age of like the internet and things traveling so fast, if this kind of thing happened. Now I would say real life that's kind of happened. I mean, they told us aliens exist and we all just kind of went okay. And anyway, what's new next week? Like, I don't know. I feel like that reminds me of like Chris Hardwick when he said like, well, if ghosts were real, like that'd be like front fucking page news. That'd be like, oh my god, ghosts are actually real, guys. You fucking, your mind would explode. It's not to say that they're I would think, I'm not exactly a math guy, but I'm just saying with the probability that I'm like there's no way that it's like this is just it. You know what I mean? It would, I don't know. It kind of gives some of that philosophical thought to like, what if that wasn't it? What if there was other things out there? And then they even brought in like a religious aspect about it too. They're like, well, if you brought in aliens, like you think everybody would just throw up their hands and be like, yeah, you just lost your faith in God because now aliens exist. I'm like, that's an interesting approach to it. So yeah, it kind of laid out some questions and kind of gave some answers. So and yeah, aliens, man. So that's kind of the whole draw of this movie. I know, yeah, God, I know the first thing, and I'm sure Frank loves to make his little jokes when he puts, especially when it's the director, when it's some little independent director like some guy by the name of Spielberg. All he wrote was Spielberg ... and I know he's leaving it up for interpretation for the two of us, but I don't think we necessarily need to, or nor do we have the time to talk about Spielberg. I mean, that's a Hall of Famer name, period, end of sentence. So we can look at it more so from the perspective of what he did with this movie. So like you say, he's no stranger to making alien movies, of course. So what do you think about what Spielberg did with this movie?
I mean, like you said, he's no stranger to this type of a movie. Obviously. I mean, I really liked the direction he took with this movie. I mean, he's known for stuff like this. And I really appreciated the, just the intimate look into the different stories that he told with this movie. I think that each little section, I mean, there were really kind of 3 stories being told in this movie. I think I liked the detail that he took with each story. and brought them all together in the end. I really enjoyed what he did with this movie in that way.
Yeah, like I said, 2.5 hours is quite a bit of time to sit through a movie, and with it's Spielberg, so that name carries a lot of weight that I could trust this guy to make a movie. Obviously, he's he knows how to do it. The different storylines, like I said, get set up in a way to where you're understanding these characters and where they're coming from, and then what. And some, like with Emily Blunt's character, like she gets kind of thrown into it, having this experience, which we find out later she's had more than an experience in her life about with alien contact. And then with of course the shady government guys who were after this whole thing happening, kind of in tandem with I can't just help but call it the pseudo like Edward Snowden guy who's like, I have all this information and the public deserves to know. Like, okay, I know what it's probably referencing. That's who this guy is. He's basically got like 70 years worth of like proof that aliens exist, and we've known about it for all this time. And you're kind of sitting on either a gold mine or a landmine, because you've got all this stuff in his backpack. Of course, being pursued by government agents, and he's kind of got his hand on the the detonator, so to speak. Where he's like, yeah, I can't just keep this quiet. I kind of feel like people should know about this. And like I said, that opens up the world to like, well, what would happen if you did do that? That would, and of course, it does draw a real world where it's like, yeah, the world's kind of on the brink of someone breathes the wrong way and shit's gonna go sideways, which. I can't remember what movie or show I heard that from, where it was like, when's the last time the world wasn't falling apart? So throughout the entirety of human history, I mean, the common denominator is humans, but so there's a philosophical question for you right there. But they kind of just like, well, if we put this out there to the airwaves, we'll just kind of let people decide for themselves. And it kind of has a not quite like an Independence Day thing, to quote another alien movie, where it's like, this would kind of stop the world a little bit, where it's like, oh, it's not just us. And that's why, we have all of our own problems here because we think, oh, it's just us. So there's all this, you have infighting between different countries, between different, it's all going on down here. But then when you open up the world literally to, oh, it's not just us, and them up there don't care about what we got going on down here. So it kind of makes you all stop for a second and all look up toward the sky, in essence. Like, that was cool. And like I said, with bringing in the Edward Snowden guy's girlfriend, who used to be a nun, which was a wild, first of all, a wild story, so to speak. And she even like asked, I think she called her a sister, but I thought she was like the mother or something, because she was older. Like, even asks her, like, what would you think about? Like, would you think differently, or would you kind of like, would your faith be shaken? And she's kind of like, no, like, it was like a separation of like, there's belief, and this is the science versus religion thing, but it wouldn't really change anything for her. So I don't know, I feel like that would kind of put a wrench in a lot of people's belief, man. That's probably a whole podcast itself. So yeah, and I like that each story, the pacing was done well enough to where I didn't like it didn't get too far away from me, or too like where I'm like, okay, well, what's going on with somebody else, or you kind of forget about it. Like you're following each one to the conclusion of where they all meet together, and then we casually just wheel out an alien to everybody. So thumbs up, Spielberg. That's you should make movies or something, man. You're pretty good at it. Let's see what we got. Cast, and it's not like I actually got these pictures together myself, because I totally didn't. Hell, let's go with Emily Blunt and Wyatt Russell. Kurt Russell's son, Kurt and Goldie's son. So cast, like I said, pretty loaded cast, full of some big names. What do you think about this cast? Which of these people stand out to you? And no, it can't be the bird. I realized which one I put up there.
And I was gonna say the bird. No, no, I was not going to say the bird. I did like Jane's character a lot.
That's the girlfriend.
Yeah, that's the girlfriend. I liked her character a lot.
Does Frank have a picture of her?
She was cool.
Wait.
Yeah, she's in this picture.
Yeah,
yes,
on the right.
To the right. Yes. I did like her a lot. I liked her character, of course. And I did also liked Hugo. Colman Domingo.
I was gonna say,
yes.
You're gonna steal mine.
I liked him a lot as well. His character. He was very cool. I enjoyed watching him kind of coordinate things, kind of on the sidelines, but of this movie. I mean, it was on the sidelines, but kind of coordinating where things were going and what people were doing and trying to bring everything together. And then, getting the house set up for Emily Blunt's character at the end there. That was pretty cool. And very interesting how we got there and what we were doing with that. But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on cast.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm gonna go right back to him. Colman Domingo is one of my favorite actors in recent memory. Anything this guy does, I love this dude. Ever since I saw him in Fear the Walking Dead, I loved his character, Victor Strand. It's kind of one of those like kind of morally gray characters, kind of selfish, like, always has a contingency plan, kind of out for himself. But in a way, it's like you kind of want to hate him, but in a way, you're like, no, he's got a point. And don't even lie, we'd all love to be Rick Grimes, but like, no, you'd be Victor Strand. You'd take care of yourself before anybody else, for the most part. I mean, you might do some heroic stuff, but you want to also do some pretty shitty stuff to people to keep yourself alive. Yeah, no, I love Colman Domingo. I think he was pretty cool in this role. He did, like you said, I was really intrigued because it's like there wasn't like a lot to him that was like laid out up front. I was just like he keeps being the contact for I don't remember his name now. Damn it, the Edward Snowden guy who has all the alien all the Daniel? Yes, Daniel. Which is funny because there was a guy named Daniel in Fear the Walking Dead that he that he butted heads with a lot. I feel like I would have remembered that. Damn it. Yeah, but he I almost called him Victor Strand again. Damn it. Hugo's character worked for that government agency Wardex that was trying to get that information back. And I was wondering, like, because he's like constantly walking around what looks like a movie set or something, like something's going on. And I was wondering if, because the way that this works, and I'll go to like, you got to have a good bad guy. You got to have somebody that, intimidates you, because the fact that he can basically like cerebro his way into like your head and like talk to you and like figure out where you're at. For contact, I think I have a picture of Emily Blunt holding the yeah. So they have this little device, this like piece of alien tech that you hold in your hand, and apparently you can't dive into somebody who's had an experience. So they couldn't have done it to like Emily Blunt or to Daniel's character because they've experienced aliens before. But he does it to Daniel's girlfriend, and like finds out where she's at. So I wondered if like Colman Domingo's character was like, it was like a constantly changing thing to where like he'd never figure out where he was at, because he was kind of in hot water too, being that he didn't show up for work, and he's been helping Daniel out on the sidelines to try and bring this thing to fruition, kind of on the same side of like, yeah, people deserve to know the truth. Yeah, I thought that was cool. I didn't get another picture of him here actually. With some of the other Wardex people, yeah, I Colin Firth is a it's like he's not necessarily intimidating, but it's like, man, you're kind of worried, like, man, this guy might he's got like basically under the table like mercenaries that'll go out and kill you just over the fact that you have this information. So yeah, all around, I'd say all around pretty good damn cast. I did like what was her name? Was her name Mary, the girlfriend? Jane. I was like, wait, Mary, that's funny. Jane. Yeah, they were pretty cool. I like, like I said, her interjection of being the one who used to be a nun and then decided, yeah, not for me. Which that's Catholicism. That's a different podcast. Sorry. Yeah. So solid cast. We got we got plot. So plot aliens. Like I said, you got like the most alien picture I can find here because this is definitely not the movie Signs, but damn near close. So plot. I'll try to narrow it down a little bit. I could have said aliens again. So, like I said, Daniel has this information from Wardex that basically proves aliens' existence. He's on the run, being helped out by Hugo, they're trying to not give each other away, and it's like they're trying to like you just gotta trust me. We'll find each other. We'll get to where we need to be and do what we got to do here. To Emily Blunt's character, who is she plays a meteorologist on a news station in Kansas City, I believe. And she, like I said, she's had a previous experience with aliens, which I'll kind of get to in a second. And it's kind of a what's that shit called? It was in Star Wars. Diadem, where not diadem, where it's two different people that like you have to come together because she had the she could speak because all of a sudden she started speaking their alien language like on live TV, which of course sets that shit in motion. And the Daniel, the tech guy, has the ability to understand them. So like it's basically mathematics, which kind of is the universal, well, literally the universal language. It's a constant mathematics. So they kind of gifted him with the fact that he can understand them, and then she's kind of that conduit to so the two of them have to come together. I think it's called a diadem, right, where it's two things of power come together, and that's what makes the magic happen. Something Disney Star Wars, I don't fucking know. I pushed that out of my head. Anyway, so they, like I say, it's them all coming together. Emily Blunt's character Daniel, well, also them trying to not get captured and or killed by Wardex. And every once in a while, like I said, you got dude, where is that? That's a cool picture of him kind of just like cerebroing like the girlfriend trying to figure out where Daniel is, and he even takes over her mind at one point. It's kind of freaky that like their eyes switch color, like his turn blue and hers turn that dark brown. He like basically mind controls her into trying to kill him, which was actually kind of scary. And of course, this alien attack is like you gotta be careful. He's hooked up to machines, watching his respiration, his heart rate, all that shit. Because it's not exactly an easy thing to do. I mean, it's if you're not like attuned to it, I guess, so to speak. So yeah, then I mean, like I said, I'm glossing over a whole lot, but it's eventually they come back to that weather or the news station, and what Hugo did was like after orchestrating that whole thing, getting them there, getting them on air, literally wheeled in an alien to then show everybody, and it spoke to Daniel, and then he spoke to Emily Blunt's character, and then they just kind of put that out there, and that's where it stops. It's them kind of spilling the beans on this whole thing, and I think there's a picture somewhere of the kids when they got I definitely went through all these damn. There it is. When they were younger, both of the kids experienced these aliens, and I think it was kind of cool. There was that picture of the bedroom, yeah. Because you were telling me about you had literally the same exact fucking experience, and I'm like, you're not gonna sit here and tell me you experienced aliens, because it was that they present themselves as animals, especially towards a child like this, to not freak them out. It's an alien, and it leads her through her bedroom window, things that are familiar. So like she walks through the woods, kind of Hansel and Gretel style, goes in this house, and then all of a sudden, then you got these where's that? You got these those are those same devices that we were seeing in the movie, like going into their brains basically. So that's kind of the plot of the movie. Apparently you experienced aliens, so I'm happy for you, I guess.
I never said that they were aliens. I had a reoccurring dream as a child that they were animals in my room, in my bedroom.
So literally this.
So, okay, but they were circus animals. They were not woodland creatures. They were circus animals. They were like elephants and tigers and bears.
Lions, tigers, and bears.
Oh my. And they would be dancing around my window, and I would occasionally follow them out into the hallway. Okay. I never thought they were aliens.
That you know of.
That I'm aware of. But I would occasionally get out of my bed and follow them places. And I was 6 years old. It was a very vivid dream, and it happened frequently. So maybe I was experiencing aliens. I don't know. Perhaps.
I mean, I guess I was gonna say what that was the plot. What did you think about this plot? Is there anything you would change, or did not have apparently a reoccurring or not repressed? I mean, Emily Blunt repressed that memory, but I mean, you apparently just had this vivid memory of literally the same thing happening to you. But what do you think about the plot of this movie? Jesus.
I liked the plot of this movie. I mean, even though it was a really long movie, I didn't really get bored or feel like it was that long watching it. I liked the little subplot of the girlfriend having been a nun. I thought that was an interesting play to pull some religious stuff into it. I thought that was kind of interesting. I liked that little plot point because that is an interesting thought to have, what would happen, if you introduce factual proof of aliens, what happens to all of the different religions, and, Christianity being the biggest one in the United States, just thinking about that, I thought it was interesting. The nun saying what, if you know me, the way I was raised Christian. So thinking about that in that viewpoint, that's probably the answer that I would have had growing up too. It wouldn't have changed anything because that's kind of what I would have thought too. It's like, yeah, outside of Earth, sure, there probably is stuff out there. The Bible was written in Earth's perspective, just Earth's perspective. There could be other planets and they could have their own whatever from God or anything. That would have been my perspective back in those times as well. I just thought that was an interesting plot point. I liked the bit about, I liked the train scene where when they were, well, let me back up a little bit from the train scene. Well, I mean, yes, this scene was cool. The panic, when she was having the panic attack and he helped her calm down. But backing up just a little bit from that, the scene where Emily Blunt's character was able to just talk her way out of that situation that they were inside of when they got caught. And she just kind of waltzed in and then waltzed back out with Daniel.
Oh, at the military base?
Yeah, at the military base. That's what it was. I thought that was very interesting because she was, she has the ability to basically understand the thoughts and emotions of everybody that she makes eye contact with. I mean, that's crazy, first of all. How invasive.
They're aliens, man.
I know, but how invasive is that?
Some body snatcher shit.
Right, that is invasive. For not only like, especially if you don't want to know, and you just have to like avoid eye contact with people if you don't want to know what they're thinking on her character's behalf.
It would have been funnier if her character was autistic and she couldn't look people in the eye anyway.
Yeah, she couldn't make eye contact.
It wouldn't have worked.
It wouldn't have worked. But I just thought it was interesting how she was able to make herself appear to be these people's loved ones and just waltz right out of there. That was fascinating. I really liked that plot point. And then the scene with the train, adding a little bit of suspense in there, I thought was good. I enjoyed that scene. And then the panic attack scene was also really good because Daniel was able to ground her, and it really did show how they were kind of two in the same situation. And I liked how there was no forced romance between the two of them. Like, she has a boyfriend, he has a girlfriend, they're separate, there's no forced romance there. I liked that because so often I feel like in movies there's like such a forced romance between the two main, what is the word, protagonists. There you see that so much in movies that it's refreshing to not have that all the time. It was just, for me, it was refreshing to not have that kind of a forced romance between the two main protagonists. And have that scene just be truly just two of people who are connected in a way, and there's not a romance there. That was nice. And then I thought that the building of the house, in order for her to go back to that moment and them knowing all about her house and having all this research, I mean, that big build up to that moment was really interesting. I don't know that I fully understood it though. And that could just be me not understanding it, but I don't know that I fully understood why they needed the entirety of her house and why maybe they didn't just need her room, or I don't know. I guess might as well build the whole house if you're just going for it, I guess. But that could just be me. But I did like the seeing that whole thing happen. But I also I kind of would have liked to see what happened to Daniel. How did he get there? I would have liked to have seen that too, because I'm kind of I mean, it's kind of nice that it's still a mystery, but it's also kind of like I would have liked to see how he got there, because his seems almost more traumatic, because he's like shaking and crying over there, and she's like just engrossed in what's happening while she was reliving the memory. I know she said it was traumatic for her, but I mean, obviously that event was traumatic for both of them, but her leading up to getting there didn't seem traumatic for, watching her child self do that or get up to the point of getting there anyways didn't seem traumatic. I mean, the actual event was traumatic, but I would have liked to see what his event getting there would have looked like, because he just seemed so much more afraid of what was happening in that moment when he was sitting next to her while they were both observing her when she was going to go with them, with the animals. I don't know. I would have liked to have seen that. I think that's something I might have changed. Trying to think of what else. I did also like that ending scene when the villain, what is his name?
It's Colin Firth's character.
I was trying to remember what his name was.
I don't remember his damn name.
But the main guy from Mordex, I like how when he knew he was defeated.
Scanlan.
Scanlan.
Noah Scanlan.
Scanlan. When he knew he was defeated, he's just like, fine. I'm going to sit here and watch you do this.
Yeah.
I liked that ending for him, of him just, fine, it's over. And I'm going to sit here and just watch this happen, I guess. I did like that. I thought that was interesting, because realistically, what else was he going to do at that point? She had the device and she brought the power back on, and there was nothing else he could do. So I enjoyed that as well, plot wise. And I like that it kind of ended on a kind of a cliffhanger, because we don't know what that alien said besides listen. I liked that ending quite a bit as well. So those are kind of my thoughts on the plot.
Yeah, I liked the intersecting storylines. It came to the conclusion we came to, like you said, in the news station. Even after all that, I mean, yeah, I don't know what else Colin Firth was going to do. He did just kind of, as much as he was trying to fight it, I think what I would have, there was that scene between him and Hugo, though. I thought that was cool when he because obviously, like I said, he wasn't somebody who had experienced an alien, clearly, since he was able to dive in on him. And that interaction that they had was really cool, because I'm like, there's some depth here, because what Colin Firth's character was seeing was his wife. And I'm like, well, what happened? What was, because everyone else, even though I'm like, that is kind of interesting, I thought it was just her. Because it's kind of funny if some random lady's like, hey, yeah, so you need to go home and you go take your wife out this weekend. She doesn't hate you. She just wants you to spend more time with, like, just lays this whole thing out for you. And you're like, huh? Okay. It's like that worked for some reason. I mean, I guess it would if you start name dropping people that like some stranger would not know. But then it started seeing, like, I'm like, wait, so no one's freaked out or just like casually like, oh, look, that's my daughter talking to me for 3 seconds, and she walks away. I'm like, huh? I don't know. That confused me then, where I'm like, wait, so they're seeing a loved one. They're not just seeing her spilling info that she wouldn't otherwise know. I'm like, that made more sense to me than all of a sudden, like, hey, look, there's my wife. I'm like, huh? And I'm like, and people just let it happen? I don't know. That was weird when it introduced that as the mechanic. I thought it was just her. But with that, I'm like, I'm not sure. I would have liked to have had a little more depth, because I'm like, I'm trying to understand what Colin Firth's like motivation was, because like it seemed like it hinged around his wife. I'm like, I'm assuming she's dead, something happened, because he's probably been in this, in this game for years, and something had to have happened, and that kind of is the crux of his motivation, it seems like. And he's butting heads with Hugo, and Hugo's basically like, people should just know, what I mean? So it's not like either one's really wrong. It's, I kind of understood that. I would have maybe liked to have seen something as to why that was so important. I mean, if I'm assuming like the way I took it was that she was dead, that would be kind of wild if all of a sudden you saw her. And, he has to know, obviously it's the alien that's doing it, but I don't know. But yeah, he does just kind of, what else was he going to do? Like you said, he just kind of put his hands up and said, all right, go ahead and tell everybody then, I guess. Nothing else he can really do. And I think I agree. I would have loved to have seen a little bit more of like what was Daniel's point, because he seemed just as important as Emily Blunt's character. Like, he was the one who could understand them. He was gifted with being able to like just the mathematic know-how to just understand them completely, because they were introducing, like, they were showing Emily Blunt's character making like the weird dialect that the aliens speak, but he's like, you guys don't hear that? That's perfect English. I understood it. And I'm like, huh? Why does he understand it? He even showed it to his girlfriend, and she's like, I hear it, but I don't understand it. It sounds like gibberish. He's like, no, I understand her completely. I'm like, there's some, like, I mean, I don't know if it maybe just wasn't as important, but it seemed important enough that, like, it's they're two halves of the coin that needed to come together for this moment to happen. And yeah, I agree. It's like that. That would have been weird. I'm like, I don't. There's not supposed to be a love story there. It's like that wasn't the point of the movie. So, but they do share this crazy experience of having been contacted by aliens. So that's not enough for anybody. And it's like they kind of get this weird kinship where it's like, yeah, we've both had this weird experience. So we're trying to figure this out together. So not a whole lot I would change. Unless it's just maybe a little more context. I know in a 2.5 hour movie, I don't need it to be 3 hours long, but just a couple things like I'd maybe see what happened to Daniel. I think the point of the house was maybe like it's not just her room. They're trying to get her back to that point because I think she repressed that memory so much that if there's something familiar, especially if it was her whole house, walking through that, getting her back to that point to where she would then, re-remember what happened. Maybe that's why I'm more so like, okay, but how did they know? Like what her entire they knew exactly what VHS is, which I caught one of them. I looked at the damn VHSs because I'm a nerd. I'm pretty sure one of those said Kindergarten Cop. Pretty certain that's what one of them said from the distance. And I saw it. I was like, I know what that movie is. This house is probably built right. She's probably in the 90s when she was like a little kid. So I see you. I know what you're doing. Down to like, oh, there's the little bowl of crayons like on her desk. I'm like, see, little stuff like that. I'm like, well, how did you know that? I don't. You gotta tell me something here, Victor Strand. I don't know how you fucking knew that, but yeah, that's how you bring the memory out. But yeah, not. I think I said pacing was good. It all got to the point, which was, hey guys, aliens are they exist. So, speaking of aliens existing, I guess that brings me to the next point, which is this kind of being a spiritual sequel to Close Encounters? Question mark. Do I have pictures of aliens? Oh no, that's a cool picture. Fuck it. It's been a hot minute since I've seen Close Encounters, but one of the same. It's Spielberg and Alien Contact. What do you think? You really love Close Encounters, so you might be able to speak on it more than I will. But what do you think? Kind of like a spiritual successor to that movie that I don't know why I can't. Close Encounters. God damn. Oh, it ain't tonight, people. I'm telling you. Close Encounters. What do you think?
I think it could be. I mean, I do really love that movie, but I couldn't tell you a whole lot about it. I do love that movie though. I could see it. I mean, it both about, aliens, both about them trying to kind of communicate and with us, both about kind of things being covered up. I could see it. I could see it for sure.
Yeah, like I said from the beginning, it's like it's the kind of story that's like it's not like something like Independence Day where and you flat out get that scene where they're when the one of the greatest goddamn fictional presidents in entertainment, President Whitmore, played by Bill Pullman, is having a conversation with the alien through the glass, trying to like reason with him and trying to be diplomatic and say like, hey, we could learn a lot from each other. We don't need to do this. Like, what do you want from us? Like, what is it? And the alien just tells him to die. And it's like, oh, it's just straight up. They're just gonna kill us. That's it. I think they're described as like locusts. They go from planet to planet, just consuming everything, and then just move on to the next one. And of course, Earth happened to be next, but we have the power of Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum. So yeah, we win in the end there, obviously. So yeah, it's not like one of that kind of movie where aliens come down and it's like, oh no, this is a fight. This is an invasion, an extermination, if you will. This is more of a kind of same thing where it's like it's contact and it's just trying to communicate and just trying to. I feel like both are trying to navigate. Like we're trying to navigate this, handling the fact that we're like, oh, there's something else out there, and then the aliens are probably like, I don't know, you guys, I don't know what's going on with this. You know what I mean? and it handles it in a way that you kind of think would make a lot of sense. Again, like with Close Encounters being, I think, was that 77, I think, late 70s. So it works within the context of the time it was made. And like I said, this one does too. This one handles it with obviously modern technology. The shit just goes all over the world, and it's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of like, what the fuck's going on? And like we said, brings up some of those big questions of like, what would anyone even do with that kind of information? And it's like, I don't know. I guess we'll maybe not see in the sequel that may or may not happen. I don't fucking know. We'll just leave it to the people, which is kind of a big ask. So, yeah, I would agree. And I think, well, trivia's next. That was ruin the big surprise for what's Thursday if you can't probably guess by this point. So, yeah, we go down to some of the trivia. I'm so excited to do this movie. Not a whole lot of trivia, but I mean, this movie did come out, this like last week or something. So, don't need the cast anymore. Get out of here. Oh, of course. I gotta put our boy back up there. Start with Spielberg. Come on. When Steven Spielberg, and everybody sat down because not only was it Spielberg, Steven Spielberg approached John Williams to score this movie. Williams first suggested 4 other composers to take the job, since Williams had since retired from film scoring. Spielberg insisted Williams score the film himself, and of course, oh no, old Steven twisted my arm, and Williams finally agreed. I mean, dude, that of all names, you put Spielberg up there, you can put George Lucas, you put John Williams on that, yeah. I'd take my money, I don't even care. You bring somebody out of retirement to do something, probably for an old friend, because they've done a lot of movies together, so that's always special. Speaking of space and coming out of retirement, I'm so goddamn happy for Spaceballs 2. That is not part of the trivia. That's just for my own. Oh god, I can't wait to see Rick Moranis again. Let's see. I'm assuming I probably need the casting because I don't know who the hell this person is. I'm sorry. It's probably him. I'm gonna take a wild guess. Josh O'Connor was struggling with an emotional scene one day and wasn't sure how to do it. That night, he received a text from Steven Spielberg saying, "The door is on the latch, just push." O'Connor thought it was acting advice, and the next day, he went to thank Spielberg for his advice, saying, "Steven, that was inspired, and it's just what I'll do in this scene. The door is on the latch, just push." Then Steven said, "What are you talking about?" He checked his messages and began laughing. What had happened was Spielberg's wife, Kate Capshaw, had texted him saying that she'd forgotten her house keys and would be home late. The text was meant for her, and it became a joke on the set later on. That was a whole... I hadn't read these yet. I'm like, this is a long... What is going on? Oh, okay. This slight miscommunication. That's amazing. I knew they were still married. That's really cool. You guys know who Kate Capshaw is. She was Willie Scott in Temple of Doom. That's crazy. That's amazing. I mean, hey, that's like the... I don't know, the no, what is that? That doesn't work. I'm remembering like a behind the scenes thing for Dukes of Hazzard where Johnny Knoxville's talking about Willie Nelson. He's like, he'll just drop some sage advice that I'm just like, he'll tell me like, "Hey kid, the pearl's in the river," and he's like, does that mean he wants to get high? I don't know. Like, you just say some like thing that it means something to you, I guess. So I'm glad that worked out. I'll just do this one real quick. This is the 30th. Good lord, like I said, goes way back. The 30th collaboration between Steven Spielberg and John Williams. Their first was the Sugarland Express in 1974, over 50 years prior. I would have said Jaws. I would have gotten that completely wrong. Holy crap. I thought the first one was Jaws. Damn. Yeah, just a whole year prior. That's crazy, dude. Like I said, work with the people you know that know how to do their thing the best way. Okay. I need Emily Blunt back on screen. There we go. In preparation for her role, lead actress Emily Blunt over many months learned the languages of both Russian and Korean so as to be able to speak these two tongues fluently in the film. Moreover, she collaborated with director Steven Spielberg to create for the movie an extraterrestrial dialect, which featured humming, clicking sounds like Morse code rhythms. I would say so. That's dedication to the craft. I was like, yeah, it flowed pretty seamlessly. So she would go in and out of it and just snap right back to English and not even realize what she's like. What's going on? Huh? Sorry, what? And I love that. Wyatt Russell's like, well, I'm sorry. Hold on. When did you learn Russian? It's like, what are you talking about Russian? I don't talk. Well, I gotta go. I'm late for work. Shit. And he's just like, I just witnessed you speak fluent Russian that you never fucking learned before prior to this point. So, goddamn. Let's get a picture of the UFO. Let's get that one. Screenwriter David Koepp denies allegations that he was in contact with the U.S. government to, quote, soft launch actual UFO disclosure through this film. Yeah, wink, wink, buddy. I see you. Right. The truth is out there, or whatever the X-Files was trying to tell us. Okay. Oh, look, Frank knows me pretty well. This is a quick one. This is Steven Spielberg's first science fiction film since Ready Player One. Hey. Is that science fiction? Is it science fiction?
Yeah.
I don't know if...
Yeah.
That's pretty real, though, right now. Ready Player One, that we have that technology. Yeah, maybe not to that scale. It's still science fiction. To be fair, some things like 50 years ago is science fiction. Now that's like, oh, that's real. You know what I mean? Yeah. I get. Sometimes technology, it's like, oh, that's real. I mean, we absolutely have like that virtual reality and being able to use your whole body to move around in a video game. Mm-hmm. Like maybe not to that scale, like in Ready Player One, but yeah, it's not readily available in people's homes. Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, we got another 20-ish years, 2045. We're right here in Columbus. I'm here. Well, although I think the first build was actually was it last year? Shit, did we miss it? Was it last year or this year? It's like December. It's like my favorite movie. I think I should know this. It was like 2025, I think, or 2026 when they first launched the Oasis. So we're in that time. Damn it, somebody's not doing it, and I'm really disappointed in all of you. Just like one of these fucking billionaires isn't Batman. I'm disappointed in all of you. Anyway, I'm going off on a fucking tangent. Sorry. I like Ready Player One, damn it. I know we've reviewed it, but I'd review it 100 more times. I don't care. What's the next one? This is widely considered the film forms third part of an unofficial Stephen King. Wow, Stephen King. I'm trying to read this as I go. My God. This is widely considered the film. It doesn't make sense either. Hold on. I'm trying to read it the correct way. It is widely considered the film forms the third part of an unofficial Steven Spielberg Alien trilogy, following Close Encounters from 1977 and E.T. from 1982. My fucking God, I got there. Yeah, you could probably say they're all in the same universe. I don't know. That's a big fucking universe, man. So, let's see some kid flying by on a bike with an alien in the basket. I know damn well who it is. Okay, I will go to people who don't show up for work. We're back to Victor Strand. One of the 12 who didn't turn up for work on Disclosure Day is named Nathan Twining. General Nathan Twining was a part of the original investigation in the alleged Roswell crash from 1947. Easter eggs. I love Easter eggs. That's why I love Ready Player One so much. I brought it back. I think that's it. Yeah, that's all the trivia we have. This movie just came out, so final thoughts on Disclosure Day. What do you got?
Well, I must disclose that I enjoyed this film very much.
Sorry. She got jokes.
I really like this film. I enjoyed watching the characters develop, and I enjoyed watching the story unfold. And yeah, I had a good time watching this movie, watching watching Emily Blunt's character shift into something kind of extraterrestrial with her abilities, and watching everything just kind of come together at the end with the alien and everything. I thought it was really cool.
There you go. Yeah. It kept me interested, and it kept me interested for 2.5 hours, which is good. I mean, it kept me on edge a few times, because it's like, when you're able to do that, like I said, when I was remembering back to like when I'm like, let's stop for a second and realize the bad guy is mind controlling this dude's girlfriend to kill him. Like, she is actively like Michael Myers and herself in the back seat, like staring over his shoulder like this, like with a fucking knife at his throat, and he has no clue because he's trying to, high speed away from the government guys. And he's trying to get shot and also not stabbed by her. You know what I mean? It's like it still managed to keep that like, oh my god, I'm like, dude, you're important. Please don't die. But she managed to. I'm wondering if maybe through a little bit of the power of faith, she fucking managed to push that dude out of her mind. Really? I mean, she was like clutching that that necklace with Jesus in it into her hand, like trying to.
Well, yeah, she also put the knife into her hand, which put it into his hand.
Yeah, there is a weird, like, she kind of pushed him back out of her mind, which was kind of cool. I was wondering if that's supposed to be a religious joke, because it was like the nail in the hand. I don't know. I was like, that's probably symbolism. It might be, but that was cool to watch her like just mind game this guy and try to push him out. Yeah, it's a cool movie. It's definitely worth seeing. It's in theaters. I don't know for how much longer, but it's might still be in theaters now. So definitely one it's one of those movies, again, watch on a big screen. It's definitely worth seeing it on something bigger. Bigger screen, more sound. So, and support the theaters. That's something we say. So support movies. That's what we do. Somebody's commenting. You guys are a bunch of fucking losers. No, I'm kidding. I love you all. I look, and then I'm like sitting here like, no, I'm kidding. I realize I'm like, I think I forget to do it like every time. I just thank everybody for being here. Even if you're just listening, you're just lurking. I appreciate you being here. Believe me. So you're here because you have an appreciation for movies, or you just like hearing me ramble about stupid shit. I don't know. I talked about Ready Player One for about 5 minutes there for some reason. It's like my sleeper agent thing. I just activate when I hear that movie. Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed it. I would recommend going to see it. So the next thing, where are you on the internet? Where do I find you?
You can find me on TikTok at it's over here. 10 Septem.
Oh, yeah, I can do this.
Oh, jeez. I didn't want to be the whole screen. You can find me at 10 Septem on TikTok. I post haunt makeup videos and some other random stuff throughout the year. It's coming up shortly, so I'll be active again with posting those videos. You can also follow me on Twix, which is Twitter/X, Twix. I post there sometimes as well. So, yeah.
I was trying to give the show a little bit of dynamic. Jeez, sorry. We used to do that. I don't know. We don't do that anymore. I swear there was a way to like make the like the name or something pop up, but yeah, fucking whatever. I don't know. I'm not nearly as important enough, so I'm not going to full screen myself. So I'm here Tuesdays, Thursdays. Yeah, you know this. And if you don't know that, that's where I'm at. I'm here Tuesdays and Thursdays talking about movies, and sometimes we just talk about other stuff. Sometimes we'll talk about some stories, some new stuff. I don't know. It could be even movie news. Who knows? But if you haven't guessed by now, the build up. I mean, get everybody be sitting down for this one. Thursday, we are doing Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I'm excited. I haven't seen this movie I haven't seen this movie in a long time. I know it's one of your favorite movies. I'm excited to get back to this one. cool double feature of some Spielberg and some alien whatnots happening. So that's Thursday. So come join us. Like I said, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for supporting our channel, and go give it out to other people. Other people that like movies or just like talking about stuff. Push our chat up. I don't care. You can talk about whatever in the chat. It can be the movie. It can be what you have for dinner. I don't care. Just have fun. Yeah, see, just like Frank. We're gonna have fun with that one. So much fun. He forgot to buy a vowel. So, yeah, that'll be Thursday. Yeah, I guess I need to play the music or something. Jeez, I need to get the outro on. No. So yeah. Bear or B Square and Alien Ship. We'll see you guys. If you start seeing cows floating in the air, that's a problem. That's run the other way.
You gotta do the little do 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 thing from Close Encounters.
Yeah, the iconic, the notes, yeah.
So excited.
I was thinking like X-Files, like just something happens. I don't know. We'll see you guys.
Bye.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.